Chito Vera spoke on his loss to Sean O'Malley over the weekend. Chito posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "I dream about last night my whole life and fell short. At the end of the day, I will be back. Thanks to my family and team for being by my side." Demetrious Johnson believes that Francis Ngannou would also lose to Anthony Joshua in MMA. DJ says that it would just be another striking match. On his YouTube channel, he went on to say, "Does Anthony Joshua beat Francis Ngannou in an MMA fight? I think he does. It would just be another striking match. AJ understands his distance. He understands the void. He has better hands than Francis, and he can make Francis even whiff and miss again. Unless Francis is going to change his tactic and go clinch him and wrestle him, Joshua would win. But AJ is very athletic. He is smaller. He's more limber. I think he'd be able to stuff the shot and be able to give it to Francis Ngannou. I'm not saying Francis has not taken it seriously. If I was to take a boxing match, I will probably spend 8 months to a year preparing myself for the boxing match. Reason why is because the punches come faster. The movement is different. There's only one weapon, and you can only use one weapon, right? I can't use my kicks, I can't use my knees, I can't use my elbows, I can't use my wrestling. How am I going to cross the void when I can't use all the weapons I've been using for the last 18 years? Another thing that could have been Francis' downfall was that he had a boxing match with Tyson Fury. So Anthony Joshua got an opportunity to see Francis fight boxing. What he took from the boxing match on Francis versus Tyson, he probably took, okay, Francis doesn't move his head, he doesn't really move his head, he's not very light on his feet, where Tyson Fury, he's kind of light on his feet, and Tyson's trying to avoid the fight. This time Anthony Joshua got right to work right off the bat, and that's usually not a good sign if the other opponent doesn't respond. A fan let Jon Jones leg kick him. He ended up having to use crutches afterwards.
Oi, show us the league.
Dana White shuts down the idea of booking Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz in the Sphere. Dana also has high praise for Dustin Poirier after his KO victory over Benoit Saint-Denis.
Last one for me, Conor McGregor says he still wants to fight in June, and he also mentioned he wanted to fight Nate Diaz in the Sphere on Mexican Independence Day. Do either of those two interest you?
I'm looking for Mexicans at the Sphere on Mexican Independence Day.
Nate?
Huh?
Nate Diaz.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that fight. Yeah. These are the kind of fights, you know, when you talk about, I'm thinking how to say this. The fights the fight that he took tonight with Benoit. I mean, everybody when the talk first started, and everybody was like, "Ooh, this is a bad fight for Poirier," blah 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 blah. And then Poirier came out and said, "You know what? I didn't die," and all this other. This is that makes you a legend. These are legendary fights. When you go in and you face a guy who is a savage and you know, looks like you can't win this fight, or people think you can't win this fight, and then you go in and do it in spectacular fashion the way that he did tonight. A lot of these fighters get very, you know, you've heard it many times in the past. They want me to lose, or they're trying to make me lose. I heard some nutty the other day from somebody that I won't even mention, but we don't determine whether you lose or whether you win. You do. What we try to do is put on the best match-made fight that we can possibly do, and that's why big stars are built in the UFC and legendary fights happen every weekend.
Last thing for me, given his legendary status and his performance, when it is Tuesday, is he in the conversation for a title shot in his next
Poirier?
fight? Yeah.
I mean, Poirier, again, like I just said, I just went through that whole, you know, his stock again goes through the roof. At his age, all the things he's accomplished, all the things he's done, look at what he did tonight. And I don't know if you guys are too busy typing or whatever the it is you guys do during fights, but if you stood up during that fight and saw the arena, it was insane. It was insane. People were going nuts. Yeah, Poirier went to a whole nother level tonight with this fight.
Alex Pereira works on his grappling with Glover Teixeira.
Eu falei, pô, vamos aí, vamos começar no chão. Eu falei, vamos começar em pé, pô. MMA. Mas específico. Não chora, vamos embora. Vamos embora. Específico.
Dustin Poirier discusses his multiple guillotine attempts at UFC 299. Dustin also responds to Conor McGregor's reaction to his KO victory over Benoit Saint-Denis. Conor said, "Great fight out of them French boys tonight."
It seemed like in the second round, maybe there was a moment you thought maybe I don't always have to jump the gilly.
Nope, I never thought that once.
Because it looked like it was there. You're like, maybe we should keep it on the feet. I'm having some success with my hands.
Yeah. Another thing too, like I thought he was going to be a little bit. He was physically strong, but I thought technically, I know he comes from a judo background. I thought his hips and his grip strength was going to be better against the fence. I took myself down every time. You know, when I was on the mat, it was because I jumped guillotines, and you miss all the ones you don't jump. First of all, but I thought he was going to be a little bit tougher with the takedowns against the fence.
Were the guillotines part of the plan, or just you?
No, everyone told me not to jump the guillotine. Mike Brown told me 100 times this week. Gamrot told me a bunch of times in the locker room, at weigh-ins, don't, you know, it was part of my plan. Not the coaches. And I'll jump another one, I promise you.
Well, Conor McGregor actually tweeted a good fight between a couple Frenchmen and even tagged the French, was it president or prime minister, whatever they have over there.
Yeah. Well, he felt that right hook too.
Justin Gaethje is set to defend his BMF title against Max Holloway at UFC 300. Today, fans are concerned that the fight may be canceled. If you Google search Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway, it now displays the bout is canceled. Now, as far as we know, the bout is still on. If you go to UFC's official website, it still has the fight on the card. What do you guys think? Perhaps a mistake on Google's part? Post your thoughts in the comments. Alexander Volkanovski responds to Sean O'Malley calling out Ilia Topuria.
He called out Ilia. Look, unless you fight in Ilia anytime soon, if you can do a turnaround anytime soon, I guess you can have it, because again, I'm having a little rest, but I'm fighting him later in the year or whenever that is. So I know I'm fighting for the title next. So if you are going to try and squeeze that in, it better be soon, because I'm next. So there you go. There's your little window if you want it. Sean, congratulations on your victory, mate. Impressive.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one says Sean wants Topuria, Topuria wants Islam, Islam wants Leon, Leon wants Dricus Duplessis, Dricus wants Alex, Alex wants Tom, Tom wants Jones, and Pantoja just wants to be active. The second one says, anyone else find the irony in Ilia telling Sean to defend his title? And the final one's from Nate Marks. It says, MVP was toying with Kevin Holland the whole fight. You saw how frustrated he got. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.